Well, I thought we would switch into some of the biggest news going down, man.
All right, all right.
There was some really sad news coming out of Dallas, man. Hoodfame little Ronnie and his 5-year-old daughter were killed. I feel so bad for that little girl and her family, man. That's kind of crazy, man. You know what's your first thoughts on that?
First and foremost, rest in peace to that little lady. She did nothing to nobody. She didn't harm anybody. She didn't deserve to lose her life like that. Rest in peace to the guy, Ronnie. You know, sins of the father is something that exists. It's something I had to experience myself, something I had to overcome. Uh, Under no circumstances do I feel like exacting violence upon children is ever acceptable. You know, this is why I try to tell people, like, you know, the street code and the street rules are a myth because people are selectively being gangster. You know, there are no rules of operation no more. People just doing anything. I remember a day that if you did something like that, people would come see about you for that. These things are no longer the case. You know, the war on drugs, which is really a war on the inner city and the power structures and the street tribes, removed all leadership, and without leadership, there can't be no discipline or no order. And then now we're watching the era of the crack babies' children that are running the streets. So now everything is haywire. There's no rules or regulations no more. You got guys with switches, turning semi-automatic handguns into rifles with no stock on it, so anybody's gonna get hit. On the video, you see the guy Ronnie running. They chase him down, gun him down, so that means they shot the car up first. They seen the child in there. The boys killed a baby. And then in the getaway car, the guy left his ID in the car. We've seen that same movie hundreds of times. You know, these guys aren't calculated. They're callous and malice murderers, and they deserve what they about to get, straight up like that.
How would you have handled that if you were bodyguarding him?
If I was bodyguarding him, you know, we're not gonna be at that car wash first and foremost because he's had other friends that died at that car wash. And people know that if you drive a Hellcat, Challenger, and stuff like that, they know when the weekend comes or after it rains, the weekend comes, sit on the car wash. You're gonna catch your op. These are things we know. To properly mitigate risk, you got to be able to identify threats. How I would have handled the situation, first and foremost, if there's an active threat against your life, there's going to be no child with us present. And if we have intel that a buddy of yours had just robbed your enemies at a dice game, we probably going to be going dark for a couple of days at a time. Because normally what I do is when I got a client who have a threat like that, I go put them up in a high-rise hotel or a condo on an Airbnb because from that point, we got several points of entry that we can protect before they can get to you. It's things that you got to go through to understand this, but there are definitely levels and differences because it's no way I would be outside with my child if I know for a fact that one of my homies just did something foul. And we know that he have powerful enemies. And what took place is just part of the game. You know, we've seen this throughout history. You know, like women and kids are supposed to be off limits. You know, sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. And, you know, violence is never the answer, but sometimes it is a solution. I'm gonna leave it at that.
What do you think about the lady did you see the video of the lady that came out where she kind of talked about, like, she was the getaway driver, I guess, and she kind of denied knowing anything about a kid or knowing anything about what they were going to do?
I saw that, but she the one put the tracker on the car for the law to find the car. And she's going on there to say that to save face because if you live by the streets, you either win or you perish by the streets. So she's putting insurance on herself, by going on camera saying that, because when it's time to put belt, you know, that belt don't discriminate, and she know the belt coming. Straight up. She shouldn't have been involved in that at all. Nonsense. Our community got to do better, man. I don't know what our obsession is with just buffoonery, just monkey activity. I don't know what our obsession is with it, but it have to stop. Something must be done, seriously. Killed that little girl, that's crazy.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon, so hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.